Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Armor Investing Virtual Hedge Fund. Thanks for joining us in the morning meeting. I appreciate it. We're going to get to the similarities between Meta and Palantir in a moment. Well, let's just remember what we're all doing here. We're portfolio managers on a desk at a virtual hedge fund. This is our morning meeting. Thanks for starting your day with me. We're going to go over the stock market direction, what has to happen today and tomorrow to decide whether or not the market will go through more of a correction, or do we just keep melting up? We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to dive into the similarities between Meta in 2012, which back then was Facebook, and what Palantir is doing today, both from a fundamental point of view, but really a technical chart pattern point of view, and what that means for the direction of Palantir. And we'll wrap up, as always, with a discussion of our Armor carry portfolio. Another chop day yesterday, another gain yesterday. So this is becoming a constant for us. But I do want to focus on execution, making sure we buy right. Otherwise, the stops we're using are not effective. So we're going to go over that. All right. So before I dive in, remember, you're the portfolio manager on the desk. Take the information you hear here and anywhere else, figure out your strategy, execute it, and be the smart money. Take that responsibility. Okay. I want to share with you this chart pattern right here. The highlighted stock of the week, of the day, of the week is going to be Palantir, a defense stock, an AI stock. And I'm not going to go over the merits of Palantir's business right now. We can do that on another day. Fundamental merits of their business. There's a moat around the business. The stock broke out yesterday on another deal they got with the Army, and there's just nobody in sight that can compete with what they do. And those are the stocks I like to buy. Those are armor power play names. Companies that have a moat around the business where nobody can compete, and they just knock down deal after deal, right? That's what Palantir is. But what I want to draw your attention to is a unique chart pattern that is very similar to what happened to the stock of Facebook, now Meta, in the year it came public, 2012. Take a look at this chart. This is the chart of Meta in 2012. It came public at the left part of this chart, and it was a hot IPO, right? Just like Palantir came public back here, and it was a hot IPO. Both stocks went down aggressively after the IPO, which is typical. And then you get to the lockup agreement 6 to 9 months later, more shares come on the market. That's just typical. I remember Meta in 2000, Facebook in 2012. Nobody really believed their story. It's social media. What does that mean? Right? And then what happens is the first downtrend is broken on a decent quarterly earnings number, but nobody really believes it, and it kind of meanders. And then they had a blowout quarter. Stock gaps up 20% and never looked back. Took out the highs of the IPO price after making a pennant formation. That's what this white pennant formation is, and never looked back. Went on a huge run, right? And then, of course, followed, the market to a certain degree, would make a cup and handle and then go again. And we all know the story of Facebook, okay? I wanted to draw your attention to this chart because you're seeing the same pattern develop in Palantir. Palantir today is where Meta was, or Facebook was, back here in this pennant formation. So I know some people think, oh, I missed it. It was down here. I should have bought it down here. I can't buy it now. Everybody said that on Meta down here. Then there was another shot to buy. Gap on a breakaway earnings number. Oh, geez, you missed Meta here. You missed it, right? It gapped up 20% on a blowout earnings number. It's missed. I can't buy it. Went on to be one of the greatest stocks we've seen in decades and skyrocketed off that gap up, okay? The same thing just happened in Palantir. Blowout earnings announcement. Oh, no, you missed it. Palantir today is exactly right here in 2012. This is what Facebook was doing. And anybody who thought they missed it on that breaking out of the pennant, well, they just kept missing it all the way up. That's exactly what Palantir did yesterday. Past performance isn't indicative, blah, blah, blah. We all get that. I'm just bringing your attention to the fact that if the correlation continues, the progression of Palantir is up from here. And it really gets simple. We just start following the stock. We're long the stock, right? So we just follow the stock up using the 14-day, 25-day, and 50-day moving averages as places to make decisions. Might want to cut the position down if it goes below the 14-day. Might want to triple it up when it gets to the 50-day, whenever that is. Obviously, it depends on the type of market we're in. Right now, the market we're in today is very similar to what was going on in 2012, which was a runaway bull market. Now, when the runaway bull market ends, Palantir will come down with the rest of the market, just like Meta did. It came back down to the 50-day moving average when the stock market took a break. And every time Meta comes down to the 50 is the time you wanted to buy it all the way up when it was Facebook. And so remember this conversation and watch the progression. You may have an insight into the behavior of this stock over the coming month. Let's see how close it follows. So far, it's lockstep. Okay. Armor Report subscribers, you're getting this live every morning. If you have questions, you can throw it into the YouTube video comment section. I'm happy to answer for you. And as always, if you find that this is just too overwhelming to do on your own, you don't have the time, you're working or what have you, and you want to work with us, we're happy to discuss that and see if a relationship that way makes sense for both of us. So, pick up the phone, call me if you want, we'll chat. Otherwise, everybody have a wonderful trading session, and I'll see Armor Insiders on the desk at 9:30.